Beloved soul, listen closely, for within you lives a silent architect, a sacred power, a divine engine of creation, your subconscious mind. And this inner force is a magnet, not sometimes, not when circumstances look good, not only for the chosen few, no, always, right now, it is drawing toward you what it has been trained to expect, whether that be riches or struggle, abundance or limitation, wealth or worry. Every coin, every opportunity, every blessing or challenge that rises in your path is responding to the blueprint held in the chamber of your inner mind. If you have suffered lack, dear one, it is not because wealth was denied to you. It is because the inner law has not yet been commanded to bring forth supply, not yet trained to believe abundance is your inheritance, for life is not happening to you, it is happening through you. And the subconscious mind is the silent conductor orchestrating every note. You see, the outer world is but a mirror, a loyal servant, reflecting whatever the inner world whispers as truth. If the whisper says, I lack, the mirror shows emptiness. If the whisper says, I am destined for wealth, the mirror rearranges itself to deliver prosperity. Money is first a feeling, then a thought, then a form. You will not receive wealth by waiting for it. You will magnetize wealth by embodying it, long before your bank account reveals the song of abundance. Speak to your subconscious like a beloved child learning a divine truth. Say to it, money flows to me with ease and grace. I am supplied, sustained, supported. Riches belong to me, and I belong to abundance. I am a magnet for divine wealth. For words are seeds, and the subconscious is fertile soil. Sow riches with your speech and watch fortune bloom like spring blossoms after a long winter. Do not speak lack. Do not discuss hardship as though it were your identity, for what you speak, you summon. What you repeat, you become. Declare instead, every day, in every way, I rise into greater abundance. Unexpected wealth enters my life. Opportunities find me. My gifts are rewarded. My path is blessed. Feel this truth, feel it until the feeling becomes fact. For when you feel wealthy before wealth arrives, wealth must appear. The universe obeys feeling, not begging. It follows certainty, not desperation. Gratitude is your golden key. Give thanks not only for what you have, but for what is surely coming. Say, I praise the abundance on its way. I bless the money circulating to me. I celebrate every sign of prosperity. And when doubt creeps in, as doubt will with the persistence of a shadow, dismiss it gently and boldly. No, I do not serve limitation. I serve the law of supply. What is mine by divine right comes to me now. Walk with faith, dear one. Faith is not blind, it sees deeper than sight. Faith does not hope for a miracle, it commands it. Act on the divine whispers within you, for the subconscious does not only attract ideas, it guides you to move on them. Not with struggle, but with inspired certainty. Each step taken in faith is a step into fortune. Each thought held in conviction carves a new path to prosperity. Each word spoken in power builds the bridge from the invisible to the visible. You are not here to survive money. You are here to master it, to command it, to magnetize it. For wealth is not a privilege, it is a spiritual responsibility to rise, to give, to bless, to shine as a vessel of divine supply. Stand tall in your truth. I am wealthy in spirit, wealthy in mind, wealthy in life, wealthy in destiny. And so it is the subconscious obeys, the universe aligns, the gate of abundance opens, and money flows to you now and always. Amen to your prosperity. Amen to your rise. Amen to the wealth that already belongs to you in the unseen, and now rushes forward into the seen. Go forth, powerful one, for you are the magnet, and wealth has already heard your call. Your subconscious mind is the silent architect of your reality, and when trained, it becomes a magnetic powerhouse for money, wealth, and prosperous opportunities. It is not loud, it does not shout, and yet it governs every experience you walk into, every financial blessing that knocks on your door, and every limitation that lingers when untrained thought drifts into fear or doubt. The subconscious accepts everything as truth not because it judges, not because it analyzes, but because it simply reflects the deepest beliefs you carry, the emotional frequency you feed it, and the inner identity you hold about wealth. When you realize this, everything changes. You understand that money is not something you chase in the outer world. It is something you summon from the inner world. Wealth does not begin in your bank account. It begins in your energy, in your thoughts, in your inner certainty that abundance is your natural birthright. Most people live believing that money comes from effort alone, from struggle, from running faster and pushing harder. They exhaust themselves, thinking they must hunt opportunity or compete for success. Yet the greatest truth is this: prosperity follows consciousness, not force. Even hard work cannot overcome a subconscious programmed for scarcity. You could labor day and night, but if your inner belief whispers money is difficult, wealth is for others, there is never enough, then the universe will faithfully deliver experiences that match those beliefs. The subconscious does not betray you, it obeys you. It mirrors your inner dialogue so precisely that life becomes a print out of your thoughts, a living reflection of your inner script, and a physical echo of your emotional vibration. Picture your subconscious as fertile soil. Whatever seed you plant, wealth or worry, success or fear, will grow. The soil does not say, "Oh, this seed is unwanted, let me reject it." No, it nurtures everything given to it. When you speak lack, when you complain about bills, when you fear not having enough, you plant seeds of shortage. And so lack grows, just as faithfully as abundance would grow if you planted richness in thought and gratitude in spirit. The transformation begins the moment you choose to sow different seeds. When the subconscious is trained to believe wealth belongs to you, prosperity begins moving toward you. New ideas arise, doors open, resources appear, and the invisible forces of life begin arranging circumstances that match your new inner state. This is not superstition or wishful thinking. It is a spiritual law, a psychological truth, and a cosmic mechanism woven into the fabric of existence. Every wealthy person understands, consciously or unconsciously, that their wealth started inside. They held a belief, an identity, a self, concept rooted in abundance long before the world ever mirrored it back. They expected success, and so success became inevitable. They believed money flows easily, and so ease followed them. They saw themselves as deserving, capable, chosen for great things, and the subconscious aligned the outer world with those beliefs. You too possess this power. It has always been there. You simply must awaken it, nurture it, and speak to it with authority instead of pleading with life to bless you. To train your subconscious for wealth, you must begin speaking to it with clarity and conviction. Affirm not with weak hope, but with spiritual certainty. Speak wealth as though you already stand in the kingdom of prosperity. Say, money flows to me effortlessly. I am supplied from every direction. I am aligned with abundance. These are not empty words. They are commands, energetic imprints, vibrational instructions delivered to the subconscious. Repetition engraves them, emotion empowers them, faith activates them. The subconscious responds not to shallow statements, but to belief saturated in feeling. When you speak wealth with the tone of someone who knows they are destined for it, the universe must respond in your favor. Your emotions are magnets. Joy attracts, gratitude multiplies, confidence draws opportunity closer. Meanwhile, fear repels, insecurity blocks, and resentment suffocates supply. When you envy the wealthy, you tell your subconscious there is distance between you and abundance. When you fear not having enough, you instruct your subconscious to prepare for lack. When you stress over money, you signal danger and scarcity. Each emotion is a vote cast toward either wealth or limitation. To become a magnet for prosperity, you must discipline your emotional world as diligently as your spoken words and thoughts. Feel rich even before riches show. Celebrate prosperity as if it already circulates through your life. Your subconscious will accept that emotional truth and begin attracting evidence of it. Faith is your greatest currency. Not forced optimism, not desperate hoping, but quiet, unwavering faith that your inner power shapes your world. Faith is the golden thread weaving the invisible realm of thought into the tangible realm of form. When you trust that abundance belongs to you, circumstances bend, opportunities arise, and life aligns. Faith instructs the subconscious that success is guaranteed, and the subconscious then draws the people, ideas, and timings required to fulfill that truth. Wealth does not come from grasping, but from aligning. It flows where belief opens a channel for it. You must discipline your perception too. Stop seeing lack as your reality and begin seeing abundance as your foundation. Everything starts as an unseen truth. The seed is invisible before it becomes a tree. So prosperity seeds must first exist in unseen form. Your thoughts, your expectations, your self-image. Become wealthy internally, and the physical world will hurry to match your inner state. Let your imagination walk in abundance long before your feet do. Visualize financial success as already complete. Act like opportunity is near. Carry yourself as a person destined for riches, for this identity magnetizes prosperity. Life cannot resist one who believes in their wealth with grace, confidence, and certainty. Opportunities do not come by accident, they come by magnetic pull. Inspired ideas do not appear randomly, they are drawn to minds ready to receive. When your subconscious accepts wealth as your truth, you move through life differently, you speak differently, you think differently, you interpret challenges not as threats but as stepping stones. Solutions rise where obstacles once stood. People who can bless your journey notice you, and you notice the paths prepared for you. Life becomes a symphony of alignment instead of struggle. Your subconscious is not your enemy, it is your most loyal ally. Train it daily, speak life into it, feed it images of prosperity, pour gratitude into it, remove the roots of fear and doubt, for when your inner world holds wealth as your truth, the outer world becomes obligated to reflect it. You are not becoming wealthy, you are remembering that abundance has always belonged to you. Train the inner magnet, and riches will seek you, find you, and flow through your life with grace and divine ease. Money first manifests in the unseen realm of thought, and every wealthy reality begins as an inner vibration long before it becomes physical form. The world you touch, spend, live in, and experience is simply the shadow of the world you think, feel, and believe within. Wealth is not born from the outer but from the inner. It does not fall from the sky or appear from luck. It rises through consciousness. Every fortune humanity has ever witnessed, whether built from ideas, creativity, strategy, or courage, began as a thought, a belief, a conviction that prosperity was possible, available, and already aligned with the person holding it. If you understand this truth deeply, you hold the keys to everything. If you ignore it, you spend a lifetime chasing shadows instead of mastering the source. Money is energy, and so are your thoughts. When your mind vibrates at the frequency of abundance, wealth has no choice but to gravitate toward you. When you hold fear, doubt, or scarcity, money recedes, for the universe listens not to your wishes but to your internal state. Many people beg for abundance while vibrating in lack, trying to attract prosperity with a mindset rooted in limitation. They may say they want wealth, but inside they fear not having enough, they doubt their worthiness, and they expect struggle. The subconscious believes what it feels most intensely, not what it speaks casually. Wealth responds to emotion, conviction, and belief, not desperation or force. Wealthy outcomes begin the moment you claim wealth in thought. When you plant the seed of abundance in your subconscious, when you hold the image of prosperity with unwavering certainty, when you believe that wealth is already flowing toward you, the process of manifestation is already in motion. Just as the farmer who plants a seed does not see the crop instantly, but knows the hidden work has begun, so must you trust the invisible stages of abundance. First, the seed is planted in thought, then roots grow in belief, then growth takes form in action, and finally, manifestation appears as financial reality. But it always begins in silence, inside the mind, long before it blooms in the physical world. Do not mistake delay for denial. Just because you cannot yet see the wealth forming does not mean it isn't already moving toward you. Like water rising beneath the earth before bursting into a fountain, prosperity gathers beneath the surface of your life when you think rich thoughts, speak rich words, and walk in rich expectation. Every time you visualize success, you strengthen the magnetic pull of abundance. Every time you affirm wealth with feeling, you align with financial flow. Every time you choose faith over fear, you build the spiritual muscle of prosperity. And every time you reject scarcity thinking, you unlock a new level of receiving. Your imagination is not fantasy, it is spiritual architecture. Every luxurious lifestyle ever lived, every business ever created, every mansion ever built, every empire ever raised began as imagination first. What you consistently imagine with belief becomes instruction to your subconscious. You may call it vision, faith, or inner knowing, but at its core, it is a contract with the universe that what you see within must eventually appear without. But imagination alone is not enough. You must feel the wealth before you see it. Emotion is the fuel of manifestation. It is not enough to say, I am wealthy. You must feel the emotion of that truth. To feel wealth while your outer world hasn't yet changed is the highest form of spiritual mastery. Anyone can feel abundant when their bank is full. The one who feels abundant before the money appears commands the law of creation. Emotion imprints the subconscious, and the subconscious sculpts reality. If you feel grateful before receiving, receiving must come. If you feel worthy before wealth arrives, wealth must honor that worthiness. If you feel abundant without physical evidence must appear. This is not delusion, it is discipline. It is spiritual technology. It is the law of creation. The world teaches you to believe after seeing, but the universal law is reversed. You must see within to receive without. You must believe before you witness results. The subconscious cannot be tricked. It knows the truth you hold emotionally. If you secretly doubt, you delay manifestation. If you secretly fear, you block abundance. If you secretly feel unworthy, you repel prosperity no matter how hard you work. Train the inner world first. Speak in alignment with riches. Think in alignment with wealth. Feel in alignment with abundance. Move in alignment with prosperity. Then action becomes guided, opportunities reveal themselves, and life reorganizes to match your inner state. Effort becomes inspired effort, not struggle. Choices become intuitive, not forced. Everything begins happening through you, not against you. Money then becomes not a chase, but a natural outcome of who you are becoming. Remember, you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you want wealth, think wealthy thoughts, carry wealthy emotions, embody wealthy identity. Do not worship money by chasing it. Command money by vibrating at its frequency. Wealth belongs to those who expect it as naturally as they expect the sunrise. It belongs to those who walk with certainty, speak with authority, and live as though abundance flows through them every second. When the mind holds wealth, the world delivers wealth. The moment you decide that abundance is already yours in consciousness, the universe begins rearranging itself to prove you right. Words are seeds, and every sentence you speak to yourself or about yourself plants a destiny. The subconscious mind is always listening, not selectively, not occasionally, but constantly absorbing every word as instruction, as truth, and as prophecy. It does not differentiate between a joke and a vow, between sarcasm and sincerity. It simply accepts what is repeated, emotionally charged, and consistent. And because words carry vibration, intention, emotion, and belief, they are powerful enough to build a kingdom or destroy opportunity. Wealth, therefore, begins not in the outer world of currency, but in the inner world of language. When you say, I never have enough money, you command lack. When you say, money is hard to earn, you write difficulty into your future. When you say, people like me never succeed, you place a lock on the very doors life wanted to open for you. These words are not harmless, they are blueprints, signals to the subconscious that scarcity is expected, and so scarcity must be delivered. You may not even realize how often you speak limitation, a sigh when paying bills, a complaint about prices, a joke about being broke, a whisper of worry before sleeping, a habit of saying, I can't afford that. Each word becomes a seed, and the subconscious waters it faithfully. But just as negative speech creates lack, positive speech summons abundance. When you speak words of power, conviction, certainty, gratitude, and wealth, you reprogram the inner mind to align with prosperity. Imagine speaking life into your finances until your subconscious believes wealth is your natural state, until abundance becomes your emotional home. Success then arrives not as a surprise, but as a response. Words create subconscious belief, and subconscious belief shapes circumstances, opportunities, and financial flow. To create wealth through language, you must speak asterisk as the wealthy speak asterisk, not with arrogance, but with calm certainty. Not with desperation, but with divine confidence. Say, money flows to me freely, and you clear energetic pathways. Say, I am worthy of abundant wealth, and you rewrite your identity. Say, every dollar I spend returns multiplied, and you turn spending into circulation instead of fear. Speak wealth until wealth recognizes your voice. Speak prosperity until your energy matches it. Speak gratitude until blessings chase you, and when doubt tries to creep into your words, resist it like a warrior protecting sacred treasure. Affirmation is not empty repetition, it is spiritual command, but words without emotion are weak, so feel the truth as you speak it. When you declare, I am rich in mind, body, and spirit, breathe it. When you say, unexpected money comes to me, expect it. When you proclaim, everything I touch prospers, embody it. Words infused with emotion penetrate the subconscious deeply and permanently. They create a frequency that attracts aligned opportunities, generous people, and fortunate circumstances. The universe responds to the language of belief, not the language of fear. And remember, silence is also speech. The thoughts you rehearse in your mind are whispered affirmations to the subconscious. The inner conversations you repeat about failure, about doubt, about not being enough, they have the same creative power as spoken words. So guard your inner language as fiercely as your outer speech. Replace inner fear with inner faith, inner criticism with inner celebration, inner limitation with inner certainty. Let your mind speak wealth even when your circumstances have not yet caught up. Let your thoughts affirm abundance until reality bends to match them. Every wealthy person, whether consciously or instinctively, uses language as a tool. They speak possibility, not restriction. They speak vision, not defeat. They speak expansion, not survival. And even when they do not yet have money, they speak as though money is inevitable because they know that the subconscious builds life according to the blueprint of repeated language. That is why words are sacred, creative, and powerful beyond measure. They are not mere sound, they are spiritual architecture, magnetic force, and vibrational design. Your speech is your wealth blueprint. Speak like a person destined for greatness. Speak like a person who already walks in abundance. Speak like someone money loves to follow. Train your tongue to bless your life, not curse it. Let your daily language become a field where seeds of prosperity are planted with intention, watered with emotion, and grown through faith. For when your words align with abundance, your subconscious accepts abundance, and when your subconscious accepts abundance, the world becomes compelled to deliver it. Wealth, therefore, is not first earned, it is spoken, believed, and embodied into existence. Scarcity consciousness, that quiet, creeping voice of fear, doubt, and limitation, is the greatest barrier between you and the wealth that already belongs to you. It does not shout all at once. It whispers gradually, and if left unchecked, it becomes the silent author of your financial life. It says, there is not enough. It says, others succeed, but I struggle. It says, money is hard to come by. It says, I never catch a break. Every time you agree with these thoughts, you unknowingly command the subconscious to deliver a reality aligned with lack. Scarcity is not an outer condition. It is an inner belief. And until that belief dissolves, abundance cannot flow freely, no matter how hard you work or how earnestly you try. Fear blocks abundance. Doubt repels opportunity. Envy poisons the spirit and tells the subconscious that wealth belongs to someone else, not you. Resentment toward the wealthy does not punish them, it locks the door to your own prosperity because you cannot attract what you secretly resent. The subconscious hears emotion louder than words. If wealth triggers discomfort, jealousy, or resistance, your inner world will never allow it to stay. Abundance cannot enter a mind that feels unsafe around it. Money flows where it is welcomed, appreciated, and honored, not where it is feared or mistrusted. Scarcity consciousness often hides behind logic. It disguises itself as being realistic, as playing safe, as being sensible. But beneath that mask lies a deeper belief. The belief that you are separate from abundance, that wealth is limited, that life cannot or will not provide. This belief turns opportunity into threat, turns growth into danger, turns desires into burdens. It makes you shrink instead of expand. It keeps you playing small when life is calling you to rise. Scarcity teaches you to protect instead of create, to hoard instead of circulate, to fear losing rather than expect receiving. Your subconscious cannot attract what your conscious mind rejects. When you think, I don't deserve wealth, the subconscious obeys. When you say, I am afraid to fail, the subconscious avoids opportunities to protect you. When you believe, I must struggle to survive, the subconscious ensures you struggle. When you feel money is scarce, you attract situations that reinforce scarcity. The subconscious is faithful, obedient, and powerful, but it cannot contradict your dominant emotional beliefs. To shift from scarcity to abundance, you must radically transform your inner relationship with wealth. First, release the belief that money is limited. Money circulates, it flows, it regenerates, it expands through creation, value, ideas, service, and innovation. The universe is not short on wealth, it is overflowing with it. Opportunity does not disappear, it multiplies. Wealth does not dry up, it moves from those who fear losing it to those who believe in creating more. Nothing is truly scarce except the belief in abundance. Second, stop interpreting delay as denial. Scarcity thinking turns waiting into worry, abundance thinking turns waiting into faith. When flowers don't bloom instantly, you do not question whether the seed is working. You trust the process. So too must you trust that your inner shift toward prosperity is germinating beneath the surface, reshaping energy, attracting ideas, lining up divine timing. Scarcity is impatient, abundance is certain. Scarcity panics at silence. Abundance knows silence precedes breakthroughs. Third, release comparison. The success of another does not diminish your own. When you see others prosper and you feel envy, you tell the subconscious that wealth is rare and competitive. But when you witness wealth and feel inspired, you signal that abundance is natural and accessible. Celebrate abundance wherever you see it in people, in nature, in the marketplace, in the world. What you bless, you invite. What you resent, you reject. Fourth, let go of guilt around wanting wealth. Scarcity often masquerades as false humility. I don't need much. I just want enough to survive. I'm not greedy. These statements are cloaked limitations, and they restrict the flow of prosperity. You are not designed for survival, you were designed for expansion. Wealth does not corrupt, it magnifies the heart. In the hands of the wise, abundance blesses countless lives. To desire wealth is to desire freedom, impact, comfort, security, growth, and the ability to give generously. Claim it without apology. Fifth, practice gratitude even before wealth arrives. Gratitude flips the inner switch from scarcity to abundance. When you appreciate what you have, you tell the subconscious, I live in a world of plenty, and so plenty grows. Gratitude multiplies whatever it touches, money included. Even if you have little, give thanks for it and feel it as seed, not limitation. Energy responds to appreciation like flowers respond to sunlight. Sixth, reframe challenges. Scarcity sees obstacles as proof of lack. Abundance sees them as refinement, redirection, strengthening, alignment. When setbacks happen, and they will, do not fall into fear. Rise into belief. Say, this is guiding me higher. Scarcity reacts. Abundance responds with wisdom. The mind trained in prosperity knows that every delay contains growth, every struggle contains a lesson, and every challenge is reshaping you into the person capable of holding greater wealth. Seventh, practice receiving without resistance. Many people block abundance by refusing gifts, opportunities, compliments, support, or help. If you cannot receive small blessings, how will you receive great ones? Open your energy to the flow of receiving. Say yes more often. Accept support. Allow good to come easily. Scarcity expects hardship. Abundance expects grace. Eighth, speak abundance into your life. Replace scarcity statements with wealthy declarations. Say, there is always more. Say, I am open to infinite supply. Say, life supports my prosperity. Say, wealth flows to me and through me. Your voice directs your subconscious, and your subconscious directs your reality. The moment your language shifts, your destiny shifts. Finally, embody abundance now. Walk with confidence. Treat money with respect, not fear. Circulate it with trust, not anxiety. Hold the posture, tone, attitude, and expectation of someone who knows they live in an abundant universe. Abundance is a frequency you tune into, and once tuned, the world around you reorganizes to match your inner truth. Scarcity collapses when you realize the truth. You are not separate from abundance. You are the instrument through which it flows. Lack is not your fate. It is a temporary illusion created by old beliefs. When you dismantle those beliefs, the river of prosperity rushes forward, unstoppable and ever flowing. Train the mind, open the heart, release fear, and step into your birthright, a life overflowing with wealth, opportunity, and divine supply. Faith is the golden currency of the universe, the invisible force that precedes every miracle, every breakthrough, every worldly success that looks effortless from the outside. Faith is not merely hope, nor is it distant optimism. It is the unshakable knowing that what you seek already exists for you in the unseen realm. Before wealth arrives in your bank account, it arrives in your belief. Before opportunity knocks, it forms in your conviction. Faith is the spiritual engine that commands the subconscious to prepare a place for abundance, to open doors where walls once stood, and to align circumstances in ways logic cannot comprehend. When you cultivate faith, you become unstoppable because you are guided not by what your eyes see, but by what your inner vision knows. Many say they desire wealth, but few hold the faith for it. They wish for riches, but secretly doubt them. They speak abundance, but quietly fear lack. They visualize success, yet prepare for failure. Such divided energy confuses the subconscious, and a confused mind cannot manifest. Faith is singular, it is focused, pure, unwavering. It does not wobble when circumstances shake. It does not retreat when results take time. Faith declares, my abundance is certain, even when the world says otherwise. Faith stands firm in the unseen, trusting that the universe has already moved in your favor long before physical confirmation appears. Faith is not passive. It is the most powerful action you can take before the physical world responds. Faith trains the subconscious to move as though abundance is guaranteed. It programs your thoughts to align with prosperity. It instructs your emotions to dwell in gratitude and certainty instead of fear and doubt. It lifts your posture, sharpens your intuition, fuels your confidence, and elevates your decisions. Faith is the inner posture of wealth long before wealth becomes visible. If you wait to believe after you see results, you will wait forever. Manifestation belongs to those who believe first, act first, and step into abundance in consciousness before it arrives in form. Faith is not the absence of challenge, it is the mastery of response. The one who holds faith does not crumble at setbacks, does not panic at temporary scarcity, does not allow fear to build walls around opportunity. Instead, they say, this delay is divine timing. This obstacle is refinement. This challenge is strengthening me for the abundance I am destined to hold. Faith knows that even apparent detours are preparation. Faith knows that the seed must be buried before it rises. Faith knows that patience is not waiting, patience is trusting. And in that trust, the subconscious receives instruction. All is well, all is coming, all is unfolding for my prosperity. And so life bends to match that conviction. True faith is not loud, it is steady. It does not shout to convince itself, it breathes in certainty. It whispers, I walk with divine supply, therefore I shall not lack. It says, doors open for me because my spirit calls them forth. It affirms, everything I need is already aligning. I am guided, I am supported, I am destined for prosperity. Such faith becomes a calm fire burning inside, strong enough to hold vision, even in silence. Wealth comes to those who live in that internal flame, not to those who tremble at shadows. Faith transforms your relationship with money. Doubt looks at finances and says, there is not enough. Faith looks at finances and says, this is only the beginning, more is coming. My supply is endless. Doubt shrinks your energy, faith expands it. Doubt clings and fears spending. Faith circulates money knowing it returns multiplied. Doubt worries, faith praises. Doubt asks, what if things go wrong? Faith declares, everything flows in my favor. And so the subconscious obeys. It creates from the dominant vibration, not from momentary thoughts. When faith becomes your emotional home, wealth becomes your physical home. Faith activates intuition, the inner guidance system that leads you to ideas, people, and opportunities aligned with prosperity. When you trust, you listen more deeply. You notice the signs life gives you. You recognize the chance that others overlook. You hear the whisper saying, go there, try this, call them, begin now. Faith sharpens clarity. Doubt blurs vision, faith opens it. The subconscious, once fed with certainty, begins delivering inspired thoughts that carry the blueprint of your abundance. Every invention, every business idea, every masterpiece ever created all began as a whisper received by someone who had the faith to pursue it. Faith also builds consistency, the bridge between intention and manifestation. Without faith, motivation fades. With faith, commitment becomes effortless because you're no longer working toward a dream, you are stepping into an identity. Faith says, this is who I am becoming. This is the life I will live. And the subconscious, loyal and obedient, ensures your habits, thoughts, and actions evolve to match that identity. Effort becomes inspired, work becomes aligned, discipline becomes devotion, success becomes inevitable. Faith is magnetic. It draws resources, mentors, investors, clients, opportunities, and divine assistance. People can feel faith in your voice, in your energy, in your presence. Doors open to those who carry certainty. The world responds to humans who expect good fortune. Faith sends a message to life itself. I am ready, I am worthy, I am certain. And life answers certainty with abundance. Do not seek proof before you believe. Belief is the proof. The subconscious creates not from the world you see, but from the world you feel and expect. So believe deeply, trust completely, walk as if your wealth is already here. Speak like someone chosen for greatness. Think like someone with divine support. Move like someone guided by higher power. Live like abundance flows through your soul. There will be moments when doubt knocks not to defeat you, but to strengthen your faith. Each time you choose belief over fear, you elevate your vibration. Each time you choose trust over panic, you grow your capacity. Each time you hold vision in uncertainty, You prove to the universe that you are ready to receive. Faith is your wealth foundation. Wealth that arrives without faith slips away. Wealth built on faith remains, multiplies, and blesses generations. So anchor yourself in belief, not because evidence exists yet, but because you exist powerful, connected, guided, and aligned with infinite supply. Wealth is already on its way, not because you chase it, but because your faith calls it. And what is claimed in spirit must appear in form, for faith never returns empty, it returns multiplied. Faith is the sculptor of destiny, and imagination is its chisel. When you hold a vision of wealth so vivid, so alive, so emotionally charged that your subconscious feels it as truth, the universe rearranges itself to match your inner picture. Every mansion that stands, every business that thrives, every bank account overflowing, they were realities in the unseen long before they appeared in the physical. The world you touch is shaped by the world you imagine, and wealth begins as an image in the theater of the mind. If you cannot see abundance within, you cannot experience it without. If you cannot believe in your wealth before it arrives, you close the gate through which it is meant to flow. Imagination is not fantasy, it is creation. It is the divine workshop where unseen substance takes form. When you visualize prosperity, feel prosperity, speak prosperity, and expect prosperity, you are summoning it from spirit into matter. The subconscious does not know the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It accepts the picture you feed it and seeks to make it your environment. So imagine boldly, imagine freely. See yourself wealthy without doubt, without hesitation, without apology. Picture your success until it becomes more familiar than your current circumstance. Let your inner vision become your inner truth, and the outer world will mirror it. You must become the wealthy version of yourself in spirit before you become wealthy in reality. Stand tall in your imagination. Walk with confidence in your inner world. See yourself signing contracts, receiving deposits, living in comfort, giving generously, moving with grace, clothed in abundance. Feel the freedom, the ease, the dignity of someone whose cup overflows. For feelings broadcast frequencies, and frequencies summon experiences. If you feel lack, you magnetize lack. If you feel wealth, you magnetize wealth. So let every mental movie you play be a celebration of abundance, never a rehearsal of struggle. Do not use imagination to replay fear, worry, or worst-case scenarios, for the subconscious treats even dread as instruction. Many people imagine failure more faithfully than they imagine success, and so failure becomes their pattern. They picture debt, and debt grows. They picture rejection, and rejection arrives. They picture obstacles, and the road twists accordingly. They unknowingly worship their fears with the power of imagination, and they wonder why burdens multiply. But you, beloved, are called to imagine victory. You are called to visualize a life blessed beyond measure. You are called to paint your future with strokes of faith, not strokes of fear. There is a sacred law: what you dwell on, you dwell in. If your mind lives in abundance, your life cannot help but follow. If your inner world is filled with light, richness, and expectation, your outer life must reveal that richness in due time. Hold the image long enough, and the physical world bends. Maintain the vision through doubt, through delay, through silence. For when nothing appears to be happening, everything is happening in the unseen. Seeds sprout underground before they break the soil. Trust your imagination like a gardener trusts the earth. Trust the vision even when the evidence is not yet visible. Persist, and the miracle becomes inevitable. And know this: imagination without faith is a daydream, but imagination with faith is a decree. Do not simply see wealth, claim it in your spirit. Do not simply hope for abundance, walk in the emotion of someone already blessed. Let your vision be firm, unwavering, luminous. When doubt whispers, return to your inner scene. When fear knocks, answer with faith. When the world points to your present, point within to your future. You are not bound by circumstance. You are driven by vision. You do not follow reality. you created. You are not shaped by scarcity. You are shaped by the divine image you hold. So rise in your imagination like the morning sun. Flood your subconscious with images of prosperity, purpose, and joy. Let your future be so clear in your mind that the present must bow to it. Speak your vision, feel your vision. Live your vision internally until life itself becomes compelled to deliver it externally. For the imagination trained in abundance becomes the magnet for miracles. And in the fullness of time, what you once saw only with the inner eye will stand before you in living proof, a testament to the power of a mind aligned with wealth and a spirit anchored in faith. A heart filled with gratitude is a treasury already overflowing. Gratitude is not merely a polite habit, it is a spiritual magnet, a vibration of abundance, a declaration to the universe that you recognize blessings, and therefore you are ready for more. Where complaint closes the gates of prosperity, gratitude flings them wide open. Where resentment blocks the flow, appreciation invites increase. When you say thank you with sincerity, you are saying to creation, I see the abundance around me, I honor it, and I welcome its expansion. The subconscious hears this frequency and aligns your life to match it. It begins to notice opportunities that were invisible before. People who were once distant become sources of support. Ideas arise effortlessly. Doors open naturally because gratitude turns your inner world toward wealth, and the outer world responds. There are two kinds of gratitude: gratitude for what is already here, and gratitude for what is coming. Most know the first, few practice the second, yet it is the second that transforms your destiny. To thank for what you have is powerful. To thank for what you desire before it arrives is miraculous. That is faith in motion. That is belief speaking louder than sight. It is saying to the subconscious, the blessing exists, I am simply aligning with its appointed time. When you give thanks for wealth not yet seen, you summon it from the unseen. You step into the emotional frequency of already having. You become the person who lives in abundance rather than the person who waits for abundance. And the universe always honors the one who believes first. Practice gratitude not as a moment, but as a mindset. Let it breathe through your thoughts, your words, your actions. Wake and whisper, thank you, my life overflows. Give thanks before sleep for the miracles working silently in your favor. Bless the money you have, no matter how modest, and it will multiply. Bless the bills, for they represent resources that flowed to you. Bless the opportunities that are forming, the ideas that are gestating, the connections that are approaching. Every expression of gratitude is a seed planted in divine soil. Every thank you is a door unlocked. Every moment of appreciation is a summons to increase. Even in challenge, give thanks not for the difficulty itself, but for the wisdom, strength, and elevation it births. For gratitude is not naive, it is powerful. It does not pretend life has no trials, it simply refuses to let trials dictate destiny. Gratitude says, I am not defined by what happens. I am defined by what grows within me. When disappointment arrives, gratitude reminds you something greater is preparing. When delay appears, gratitude assures you timing is being perfected. When loss knocks, gratitude promises renewal. In every circumstance, gratitude turns the soul toward expansion rather than contraction. It keeps the subconscious aligned with wealth, even when appearances try to speak lack. Guard your tongue against complaint, for complaint is the language of scarcity. Each time you complain, you tell your subconscious that you lack, that you are deprived, that the world is withholding from you, and so it follows your instruction faithfully. But each time you give thanks, you tell your subconscious you are blessed, supported, and favored, and it rushes to manifest that truth. Gratitude cannot coexist with fear. It dissolves fear like light dissolves darkness. It cannot coexist with envy. It transforms envy into inspiration. It cannot coexist with greed. It turns greed into graceful receiving. It purifies the heart so blessings flow freely through it. Carry gratitude with reverence. Speak it with warmth. Feel it deeply like sunlight resting on the soul. Let it humble you without shrinking you, uplift you without blinding you, expand you without overwhelming you. Gratitude makes you rich long before money arrives, and when money does arrive, gratitude keeps your spirit noble, generous, and aligned. There are those who gain wealth but lose peace. Gratitude prevents that. There are those who acquire success but forget grace. Gratitude protects against that. It anchors abundance in love, not ego. Say thank you for the wealth already destined for you. Thank the universe for aligning circumstances in your favor. Thank your future self for rising with courage and clarity. Thank every lesson, every chance, every breath. Let gratitude become the foundation upon which your riches are built. For when the subconscious is trained in gratitude, life cannot help but give you more to celebrate. And as your blessings multiply, your heart will say softly but powerfully, "It was gratitude that opened the gates and faith that walked me through." Discipline is the quiet architect of miracles, the invisible force that shapes the extraordinary from the ordinary. Many desire wealth, but only those who train their habits, govern their impulses, and direct their focus become vessels capable of holding abundance. The subconscious cannot build prosperity upon disorder, chaos, and inconsistency. It needs structure, clarity, rhythm. Wealth is not simply attracted, it is maintained by a disciplined spirit. When you show up for your vision every day, when you honor your commitments, when you act with purpose rather than whim, you are telling the subconscious, "I am ready to steward greatness." A scattered life creates scattered results, but a disciplined mind becomes a powerful magnet for opportunity, resources, and success. Discipline is not punishment, it is devotion. It is the sacred contract between who you are and who you are destined to be. Each time you choose alignment over distraction, progress over procrastination, self-respect over momentary comfort, you strengthen the magnetic pull of your subconscious. You turn habits into highways for wealth to travel. Even the smallest acts done consistently, reading a page, saving $1, praying with intention, visualizing your success, speaking affirmations, making conscious decisions create a ripple that becomes a wave, and a wave that becomes a tide carrying abundance to your shores. It is not the grand effort that creates transformation, but the daily obedience to your purpose. Laziness whispers soft lies, later, tomorrow, when motivation returns. But discipline speaks truth, now is sacred. Motivation is a spark, discipline is the fire. Motivation lifts you, discipline sustains you. The wealthy are not governed by mood, they are governed by mission. They rise when comfort begs them to rest. They work when excuses appear reasonable. They continue when the world says stop. Not because circumstances are perfect, but because commitment is stronger than convenience. Do not wait to feel inspired, act, and inspiration will follow. The universe rewards those who move first in faith, not those who wait to feel ready. Your habits are prayers you repeat through action. Every disciplined choice is a command to the subconscious. This is who I am. When you invest in yourself instead of distractions, when you protect your time and energy, when you live with purpose instead of drifting with impulse, you become unstoppable. Wealth does not flow to the undisciplined not because they are unworthy, but because they cannot yet hold what they seek. The undisciplined leak time, energy, and focus. Discipline seals the vessel so abundance can fill it. There will be days when growth feels slow, when results are invisible, when fatigue whispers surrender. But remember, seeds do not sprout the moment they are planted. Beneath the surface, life is forming. Beneath the surface, roots strengthen. Beneath the surface, destiny is awakening. Discipline is the watering of your future even when nothing seems to be happening. Keep going when your current reality has not yet caught up to your future identity. Your daily consistency is proof of faith. Act like someone already chosen for greatness, and your life will rise to match the role you live. Guard your routines as sacred. Rise with intention. Bless your day before it begins. Organize your mind before you move. Honor your goals like promises from heaven. Choose commitment over comfort until commitment becomes comfort. For discipline is not restriction. It is liberation, liberation from limitation, from stagnation, from self-sabotage. It strengthens your character, sharpens your intuition, disciplines your emotions, and trains your subconscious to expect excellence. And when discipline becomes your way of life, success becomes effortless. You will no longer chase wealth. Wealth will follow your consistency. You will not beg for opportunity. Opportunity will respect your preparation. You will not hope for transformation. You will embody it. For a disciplined spirit aligned with a powerful subconscious becomes an unstoppable force in this universe. Walk with purpose, move with intention, honor your mission daily, and the world will make room for your greatness. Discipline is your bridge from desire to destiny, and every step you take across it brings your promised abundance closer into form. Patience is not waiting, it is inner knowing. It is the calm confidence that what is yours is already on its way, moving through unseen channels, gathering form, gathering momentum, gathering perfect timing. The subconscious mind thrives not in desperation, but in certainty. When you rush, you signal lack. When you worry, you announce disbelief. When you force outcomes before their season, you uproot the seeds you patiently planted. But when you hold steady in faith, when you trust divine order, when you walk as one already chosen for abundance, you activate a power that bends circumstance in your favor. Life is not measured by how fast you receive, but by how deeply you believe. There are many who quit moments before breakthrough because they confuse delay with denial. But delay is not denial, it is preparation. It is refinement. It is calibration. A harvest cannot be rushed. There is a ripening period before fruit can be picked. You would not demand a seed bear fruit before roots are formed. So do not demand your blessings arrive before your inner foundation is strong enough to support them. There are seasons where nothing visible is happening, yet everything important is taking place beneath the surface. When life seems still, trust the unseen. When progress feels slow, trust the process. When answers feel silent, trust the divine timing preparing your miracle. Patience does not mean passivity. It means active expectation. It means continuing to build, to believe, to show up, to speak abundance, to prepare your life for the very wealth you seek. A farmer waters the soil long before he sees the first sprout. A sculptor sees the masterpiece before the chisel strikes the stone. The wise prepare their life for blessings before blessings arrive. Set your table, for abundance is coming. Strengthen your spirit, for wealth requires maturity. Train your character, for every blessing demands responsibility. Live today as the person who has already received, and the world will rush to match your identity. Impatience whispers, you are running out of time. Patience answers, I am operating in divine time. Impatience fears missing out. Patience knows nothing meant for you can escape you. Impatience looks at the clock. Patience looks at the promise. For the subconscious mind obeys the frequency you hold. Hurried energy creates resistance. Anxious desire repels manifestation. Urgency is the language of doubt. But serenity, trust, and quiet expectancy open channels of blessing. When you release the need to control how and when your wealth arrives, it arrives in ways greater than you imagined. True faith does not demand immediate proof, it walks in assurance until proof appears. Do not compare your journey to another's, for comparison steals gratitude and burdens the soul. Flowers do not bloom at the same time, yet each receives sunlight. Some rise fast, some rise slow, all rise by divine appointment. The riches designed for you will not go to another, for your name is written upon them. Rest in that truth. Celebrate the success of others, not as evidence that you are behind, but as confirmation that abundance is circulating. If blessings appear far from you, it is only because they are gathering momentum. If doors seem slow to open, it is because a grand entrance is being prepared. Patience is strength. It is emotional mastery. It is spiritual intelligence. Anyone can complain during waiting, but the powerful praise during waiting. Anyone can doubt in silence, but the wise affirm in silence. Anyone can panic when life slows, but the awakened remain steady, knowing timing is divine and alignment cannot be rushed. Your wealth is never late, it is perfectly timed. It will meet you in the right mindset, the right season, the right maturity, the right opportunity. Delay is the universe's way of making sure you are ready to receive what you asked for without losing yourself in the receiving. So hold faith like a lantern in the dark. Walk with confidence even when the road is quiet. Let your patience be as powerful as your prayer, as consistent as your discipline, as radiant as your gratitude. Your subconscious will feel your certainty and align reality to match it. And one day suddenly, beautifully, inevitably the doors will swing open, the path will reveal, the abundance will pour, and you will look back and say, "It happened exactly when it was meant to." For patience is not waiting for life to deliver. It is becoming the person for whom life delivers abundantly. And blessed are those who wait with faith, for they never wait in vain. Self-belief is the golden key that unlocks every vault of wealth, every door of opportunity, every path that leads to overflow. Without it, even the greatest plans crumble. With it, even the smallest beginning becomes unstoppable. You may study wealth, practice affirmations, visualize success, speak power, live in gratitude and discipline, but if you secretly doubt your worthiness, if you question your power, if you shrink when life asks you to rise, your subconscious will follow your disbelief, not your desire. Wealth is not attracted to hesitation, it is attracted to certainty. Abundance is not drawn to insecurity, it is drawn to inner authority. You must believe you are chosen, believe you are capable, believe you are worthy of the riches destined for you before the world reflects it back. Belief is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is the quiet knowing that you were created with purpose, intelligence, and divine favor. It is the understanding that prosperity is not a privilege for a select few, but a spiritual inheritance available to all who claim it. When you stand tall in your worth, you are not boasting, you are honoring your Creator. When you say, "I deserve wealth," you are not being greedy, you are acknowledging universal abundance. The subconscious listens closely to how you speak about yourself, and if you speak weakness, it will weaken you. If you speak power, it will empower you. Declare your greatness not with ego, but with reverence, for greatness is your birthright. There will be voices in the world that doubt you, dismiss you, misunderstand you, but those voices hold no authority unless you give it to them. The only doubt that can defeat you is the doubt you adopt as truth. The only limitation that can bind you is the limitation you claim as identity. Do not shrink because others cannot see your vision. Do not lower your voice because others cannot hear your frequency. Do not dim your light because others are comfortable in shadows. The universe did not craft your gifts for silence, it crafted them to shine, to serve, to uplift, to create wealth in spirit and form. When you believe in yourself, you give permission for miracles to operate through you. Self-belief is a vibration one felt before it is seen. It speaks in your posture, your tone, your presence. It fills your decisions with confidence and your steps with conviction. When opportunities appear, self-belief says, "I am prepared." When challenges rise, self-belief says, "I am greater than this moment." When success comes, self-belief says, "Of course I expected it." This is not denial of difficulty, but mastery over it. A person who believes in themselves cannot be intimidated by circumstance, for they understand circumstance responds to them, not the other way around. And yes, there will be days when doubt creeps in, when results seem distant, when the voice of fear whispers its old stories. In those moments, stand as your own advocate. Affirm your power. Remind yourself of every challenge you've survived, every time you rose again, every moment you were carried by unseen strength. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the refusal to be ruled by it. Courage is not always loud, sometimes it is a quiet decision repeated daily. I will not surrender my destiny to self-doubt. Practice speaking to yourself as someone chosen, someone capable, someone destined. Speak to your subconscious as a mentor speaks to a rising champion, with conviction, with tenderness, with unshakable certainty. Celebrate your growth, honor your journey, trust your inner wisdom. There is brilliance within you that you have yet to fully meet. There is wealth inside you waiting to be realized, not discovered, realized, because it has always been there. You are not becoming worthy, you have always been worthy. You are not gaining value, you are revealing what was already encoded in your soul. Walk with the quiet dignity of one who knows they are supported by seen and unseen forces. Move through life with the grace of someone who trusts divine timing and personal power equally. The subconscious bends to your belief, and reality bends to your subconscious. Believe deeply, fiercely, faithfully. Believe not because the world validates you, but because your spirit recognizes your destiny. And when your wealth arrives, for it will arrive, you will see that it did not come because of luck, or chance, or external approval. It came because you believed in yourself long before the world had the privilege to witness your greatness. It came because you stood firm in your identity, because you held the vision steady, because you chose faith over fear and strength over surrender. Wealth comes to those who know they can hold it. And now you know you can.